And then I want to ask you a little bit about the future of publishing. I recently started substitute teaching a couple of days a week because my son has gone back to school almost full-time part of the week. And I've thought, well, I'm writing middle grade books, and it's been forever since I was in school. I should go talk to some kids. So that was kind of my brilliant plan, is to go there and do some market research. But we did a book project. When I was in the 5th grade, we wrote and published our own books, and we did it on a typewriter with construction paper that we drew all our own illustrations for, and it was a couple of months long process. Whereas I was in this class a month ago, and they did the books that day. They did them on iPads. They had them beautifully represented with nice looking pictures, and the story was done by the end of the day. Still needed to be edited, still needed, a little bit of help. These are 5th graders. But I was quite impressed. And I'm thinking, well, okay, when this person gets to a certain age, or with the availability of this technology for everybody in the indie publishing revolution that we're seeing, where it has never been easier in the entire history of mankind to get a book out to the entire world instantly, both for good and for ill. How do you see that? We know that that's changed publishing a little bit, which is why we've now got 5 big publishers as opposed to 10. How do you see that continuing to disrupt publishing, and how do you see publishing changing to allow and make room for that and work with that, or do you?
I don't feel like it's greatly disrupted publishing. Self-publishing can be a great option for some people, and there definitely have been some really crazy success stories that have come out of self-published books, and even some where then a traditional publisher later bought it and then they got more crazy sales. So that definitely happens. And sure, my dad, for instance, always has something self-published on his Kindle that he just randomly finds on Amazon. So it's easy to find those things as a reader, and it's easy to get your work on there as an author. But I would say, as far as making the case for traditional publishing still, it depends on your book and, what you want to do with it. Both can be great depending on what your goals are. But one of the things about self-publishing is unless you are looking to put a lot of money into hiring a publicist, a copy editor, all these things, you could be putting a lot of money into a book that maybe never, for whatever reason, gets much traction or doesn't end up selling a lot of copies. Whereas if you, go the traditional publishing route, you have a team behind you supporting you. So, yeah, I don't feel, while it's definitely growing, I don't feel like it's totally, thrown a wrench into traditional publishing. Like I said, it works for some, and some prefer, self-publishing. But as far as where it's going to go, I don't really know if it's going to do anything drastic, to be honest, where all of a sudden people are just like, I'm totally done with traditional publishing, everyone's self-publishing now. You never know, it could happen. But I think just the benefits that there are of traditional publishing still attracts a lot of people. So I don't know if that's ever going to totally go out the window, to be honest.
Do you ever look at indie lists to see who's performing well, to try and reach out to an indie author that you might want to represent and take their career to the next level?
Sure. I haven't done it personally, but my boss works with Tilly Cole, who is a pretty big USA Today best-selling indie author who, self-publishes her books and just has a huge following. All of her books do really well. And we took her on and we handle her translation rights. And we've also helped her traditionally publish some of her books, but she still also self-publishes some too. So we've had experiences with that a little bit. I haven't so much personally yet. But I do look, I'll go on Wattpad and, kind of glance around and, see what's trending there. But I haven't offered representation to anyone that way yet. But it's definitely on the radar for sure.